They would have an opportunity, Fish, to get a top 4 seed, but home court advantage really isn't going to exist. It's Tobias Harris, Ben Simmons, Embiid, Richardson, and Shake Milton for the 76ers in blue. Glad you're with us here on Grizzlies.com. Nice cut through the lane and a foul.
Can be so explosive away from the ball as well.
77% from the line. Maynard really was on defense, one of the better steal teams in the NBA. Here's Tobias Harris. He leans, fires, rimming. Jaren Jackson down the lane. His scoop partially blocked by Embiid. Valanciunas is fouled from behind. And Valanciunas goes back to the free throw line. 73% for the best bass fisherman. Here you look at John.
Which was a long time ago, Pete.
It is a very long time ago. Jaren with a spin and cold shooting early. And honestly, Fish, this is something. Oh, Kyle Anderson, an early looking three. It's
see something different every night in the NBA, don't you?
Indeed. Ben Simmons attempted just 6-3.
That's why Taylor Jenkins saying earlier, you know, the defense is pretty much where he wants. Is Embiid again from outside, knocks the basket fouls that Jared needs to stay away from. I'll take that one, going to the basket on the break.
Here. Harris, his baseline
per game, and Tennessee fans certainly know he can be a scorer. Yeah. Boy.
And better than 56 a game. Valanciunas trying to get Embiid off balance, fades and fills.
Following the Grizzlies, number 1, Kyle Anderson, his second, team second.
Another Simmons with the steal, leading the league in that category, and Korkmaz hits it, and the Grizzlies turn it over. Simmons with a slalom and an off-balance shot. Former Minnesota teammates can't connect. Richardson's baseline gun. Wolves. Melton with 5 to shoot. Works over Korkmaz. Fires, can't fill it. Weak side rebound. Brandon Cleels was there with the deflection. Embiid fouled by Jang.
They might be young, but they're very smart. He loved being out there. Gorgie Jang said the same thing.
Yes, it is.
That's right.
Yes, it is. Well, I mean, how many of these guys in quarantine?
About the Grizzlies in that quarter. 7 turnovers for the Grizzlies turned into 12. 12.
Brandon Clark. 8 turnovers for the Grizzlies.
Sort of environment with the world's greatest players playing on it it's something else to watch, and I think
that one's called on Glenn Robinson.
Glenn Robinson III, his first, team's first.
To Joel Embiid.
Grizzlies got a good shot there, though.
Robinson. Screen for Jackson. Good hands and a takeaway. Defensive efficiency as Robinson works inside. Harris an offensive rebound.
Can score. 6.8 rebounds per game as well.
A lot of troubles. Grizzlies already 10 turnovers. Morant off the curl. Valanciunas and Embiid. Yeah, I mean, it is. You know, some days you may practice at 10 in the morning. Some days you're practicing at 4:30. I think it's getting into the act, too. Here's Korkmaz for 3. Rebound Simmons. And no look. Korkmaz off the reload. 10-minute quarters here in the first scrimmage. Valanciunas lines up the 3. Bango.
Again, Philadelphia just getting their hand on the basketball a lot.
Morant. Wham!
Into this game, there'll be some lineups where Ben will be bringing the ball up the floor, not just playing off the ball.
Things that Brett Brown said he really likes about this unit because he's been using it a lot in practice.
Good ball movement. Sure enough, you're absolutely right. I think he's mature enough to realize that the bottom line is for all basketball players, when you're out there.
Colorado, 11 games so far as a Sixer. Again, they got him from the Golden State Warriors. There goes Matisse.
What they're able to apply mentally in the offseason. He's had 4 months off now. I think
that's an interesting way to look at it.
Yeah, because he's had time to add things to his game.
Matisse, and it's like he's a second-year player. Well, let me tell you that his teammates are not treating him like a second.
Playoffs, the Sixers have already clinched. They can go no lower than 6, and actually, if it all started today. As we continue now to bring you second quarter. Ben Sticky coming up with yet another Memphis turnover.
3.
That'll do it. 4-28 as we begin the third quarter with Serena Winters, Ala Abdenabi, Mark Sumoff this afternoon. Just about anywhere on the floor.
For a second there, Al had John Morant. No one saw him. When they look at it again, here it is. Tobias finds him. Like it's F that didn't go in that time again. Without hesitation, the pull-up and the knockdown.
You know, a 17-footer, a 20-footer, a three-pointer. and he definitely buried that one. And that's
Bunch of knuckleheads on that team.
stop that.
Little 2-3 motion there. Nice little post up again. The pull up and the knockdown here with the little high-low. The reverse jam from 2-5. He's so quick.
Boy, Tobias.
Nobody in the post for the Grizzlies. 5 around 0.
Grizzlies building around a couple of 20-year-olds in John Morant, Jaren Jackson.
The defense gives you. And also the intangible of toughness that he brings to the table.
So then boards, and there's Al Horford protecting the goal for the Sixers.
Tobias real effective off the dribble.
Preparation for these games, and there are 3 different venues at the NBA campus in Orlando. Rookie out of Gonzaga, 40% three-point shooter on the season. Let's say we'll be back with the second of 3 scrimmages. The Sixers taking on Oklahoma City Sunday in the first 10-minute quarter. They led it 8-5 as Mike Scott, that looked like a goaltender, his 3rd year now with the Memphis Grizzlies, actually
Just 5 on 4 here if you can push it.
No, it's going to be an Alec Burks 3 and down to the long absence.
Ready to go, and that's what we've seen. Good start for the big fella. Finishing up with the rebound.
It's a rather healthy 3 from Matisse Thybulle. Good work by Norvell Robinson the 3rd. Shake Milton.
Assist to turnover ratios. We take a look at Shake going at Mr. Jones, giving him his shoulder. So he kind of shot that a little bit with just one shoulder facing the basket, unable to convert it in those 2-man games. So he's got an advantage if he just stays aggressive and don't worry about making mistakes.
That you would normally hear here at Wells Fargo Center, where we are stationed. How about Norvell?
Finds him, the Matisse. He's got to chase it down, Mark. Valanciunas.
Again, it's Raul. It's Nemanja Bjelica. Now a member of the Sacramento Kings.
Somebody else's problem.
That's good heads-up play by. They forced 14, count them, 14 Memphis turnovers, leading to 19 points. That was all.
Bench, how important that energy from the bench, since there are no fans, comes into play.
But day in and night out, you got to supply it yourself, because this is going to be, I think, some of the grind that we talk about.
Himself a 3-pointer. Gets himself hoop. He's got 7 points off the bench.
I've said it before, Mark.
A month, 2 months in. Indeed, the mentally strong are the ones who are going to survive.
Yeah, and I think think about it. I don't know if our viewers at home, if you can recall the longest you've ever been in a hotel room. And Neto's so smart, realizing that he doesn't have to rush anything.
And the second of these 3 scrimmages coming on beat just 13 minutes all in the first half. And indeed, all the music from the 7th back.
Amen.